Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Tuesday, the 7th of June. With Robert Murray McShane, the one chapter we read today is Isaiah chapter 39. Yesterday we saw King Hezekiah getting sick and being told you're going to die. So he prays to God, and God hears his prayer and answers him and says, I will extend your life. In chapter 39, some representatives from the king of Babylon come to see him. They've heard about that he was about to die and he survived, and they came to bring him the king of Babylon's greetings. And we're told Hezekiah received the envoys gladly and showed them what was in his storehouses, the silver, the gold, the spices, fine olive oil, his entire armory, and everything found in his treasures. You read that, you think, what was he doing? I think the basic human answer is he's bragging. He's saying to the king of Babylon, you're a great king, but look, I'm also a great king. I'm not so bad myself. I've got all this stuff. And Isaiah comes to him and says, what did these people see in your palace? And he says to them, they saw everything in my palace, Hezekiah said. There's nothing in my treasures I didn't show them. Then Isaiah said to Hezekiah, hear the word of the Lord Almighty. The time will surely come when everything in your palace and all that your predecessors have stored up until this day will be carried off to Babylon. Nothing will be left. And some of your own descendants, your own flesh and blood, those who will be born to you, will be taken away, and they will become eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon. And it's almost as though a judgment of God on him, saying, this is, you've been out of line. Because it doesn't look as though King Hezekiah gave glory to God. He just accepted glory for himself. That is speculation, but there's no mention made of Hezekiah bringing God into the picture of his palace and his wealth. And Hezekiah's response to this word of Isaiah that this judgment's going to fall isn't that he falls on his knees and repents and seeks God's face and pleads for God to intercede and to change. Instead, the word of the Lord you have spoken is good, Hezekiah replied, for he thought, there will be peace and security in my lifetime. You think, that is pretty selfish and short-sighted. Surely you want to pass on to future generations, not just for now. And as I read that, I thought Hezekiah is just such a human being. He's selfish, he's bragging, he doesn't listen to God. And I think that's just so much like all of the rest of us. And again, that for me is why the Bible is such a wonderful book. It's just so human. And we have not this mythical story about super people. We have a very realistic portrayal of human beings, being human beings, doing what we do, and getting it wrong time after time, and this gracious God still working and still dealing with us in love. And so, don't be selfish, don't brag, trust God. And as we do that, we're blessed.